So you want to be a homeowner, but you don't have any money for a down payment, or you don't have money for closing costs. Well, let's bake a cake and find out how you actually can. All right, the cake we're going to be baking is well, it's not really a cake. We're going to do cupcakes, but out of cake batter, so this will be kind of fun. Yeah, so down payment assistance. You can use it even if you're not a first-time home buyer. I know, everyone says, oh, first-time home buyers. Not necessarily. So, if you are not a first-time home buyer, you can, in fact, actually get down payment assistance. What is down payment assistance? Well, it is where you get help with your closing costs or your down payment, so you can either come up with one or the other, or you can piggyback it. And when I say piggyback, I mean if you have 3.5% to put down, like for an FHA, you could get another 3.5%, which means you would have 7% to put down, not 3.5%. That's an option that a lot of people don't know. So let's talk about it. So there are many kinds of down payment assistance programs, one of which is a forgivable, meaning as long as you live in the home for X amount of time, could be 3 years, could be 5 years, typically it's around 3, and you've made all on-time payments, then you would call your lender and say, hey, I have fulfilled my obligation of living in the home for X amount of years, and I would like to have it taken off. And they'll look and they'll make sure that you were, first off, you paid everything like you were supposed to, and you've lived in the home as your primary for the X amount of years that was needed. And then they'll say, okay, let me get that off for you. They're not just going to take it off. You're going to have to do the legwork and say, hey, get this off. I have fulfilled my obligation. The next one is known as a repayable. Now, with repayable, yes, it's in the name. You actually do have to repay it back. Now, with that being said, you have, let's say, 10 years to pay it off. And if you, and it does have an interest rate on it most of the time. And the other thing that it's got is the interest rate will be 1 to 2% higher than your actual mortgage rate. So that's something that you should also consider. Now, you can do a buy down, possibly, depending on the lender, and then you could get it down to whatever your current mortgage is. But the point is, you'll have to pay it back over 10 years. So you'll have to consider that as well. If you don't want to forgive it, you want to repay it back. And just remember that when you do that, the payment of that non-forgivable, the repayable, we're going to have to make sure that you can afford the payment along with your monthly mortgage payment as well. And I'm not sure how this last part's going to go, so I'm going to do this and then I'll go over the next one that I know about. That may have been a little louder than I wanted it to be, but all right, so now on to the next one, grants. And if you know what a grant is, that means it's money that you don't have to pay back. Yep, you can definitely get that as a DPA. Now, one thing that you may not realize is that it's really based on the lender for this particular one, and one of my lenders does an excellent job at that. And the thing is, you're subject to the interest rates of their choosing. You cannot buy it down, or you might be able to. They might have changed it since the recording of this video, I'm not sure. When you do the grant, when you sign the documents, that means that you do not owe them any money if anything happens to this home. However, you're subject to that higher interest rate, like I said before. But give it 6 months, and then you can refinance. You don't have to worry about that money that you used as a grant because you don't have to pay it back. So if you wait 6 months, you can refinance. If the rates are lower or if they're steadily up, I'm pretty sure or hopefully it would be lower than what it would be had you kept it. And so that is another option that you could try. This is not my smartest idea, but we're gonna go for it. Oh man, I made a mess. Probably should get a spoon. But anyway, those are the types of DPAs that you can get. And you can piggyback all of these. If you have a down payment but you just want to put more, I know here in California, 3.5% is not going to get you very far. I mean, your payment's still going to be pretty high. But if you have the down payment, you have the closing costs, or whether you're getting somebody to gift you the funds, you can always add on a piggyback and get more. So whenever you're looking for homes and you're looking for a down payment, don't be afraid of down payment assistance. It's there to get you to where you want to be. It's not there to mess with you, screw you, or whatever. No, it's there to help. It's always been there to help. All you have to do is ask. If you say, hey, I don't have money for closing costs. Well, let's say you don't want to do a down payment assistance. See if the seller's willing to give you concessions. Your realtor should be able to help negotiate some sort of seller concession if it's available in your market to do that. So as I'm making a mess on my cupcakes, just know that you always have options when it comes to down payment assistance. Whether it be piggybacking, whether it be taking a higher credit on your loan or a higher interest rate to cover your loan, whether it be seller concessions, whether it be down payment assistance, you always have options. Don't ever let someone tell you you do not have options. If you've got a 580 credit score, minimum, you're doing rather well. So take advantage of it and become a homeowner today. My name's Elizabeth Johnston, in case you didn't know. I'm a mortgage lender here in California and Texas, and I'd love to help you and talk about this more with you. And I'm gonna go put these in the oven and let you know how it turns out.